What's up, Facebook and YouTube? I'm Ronnie Haskins. We are live. Today, we're talking about crafting a social pitch. These are my auto brokers that have joined the team. We've got Dennis Moffitt, Clayton Knight, and Marcus Morgan, who's been with me for 3 years now and is currently a successful racer. What type of racetracks are you running on?
I run road course street circuits in the SCCA, Sporting Car Championship of America.
And you were going through a curve at 108 miles an hour last weekend?
Yeah, it sure was down at La Junta Raceway.
Okay, cool. We don't have any footage on that right now, but we'll get back to that. Well, if you've been following these lives, guys, we've been talking about creating a social pitch, and things are evolving. Like if you are listening to a salesman give a pitch, times are changing. This is not 1993. This is not 1998. What we did in the past will not get us to the next level. So we've always got to be evolving and working on it. We've chosen this book, Key Person of Influence, to help us create a new pitch, to help people understand in a more effective way what we actually do. Clayton and Dennis have just joined the team recently and become recently licensed. And so today, Clayton is going live talking about his pitch. And maybe Dennis, we'll see. But without further ado, what else would you guys like to chat about? Like the importance of this or why we think we need to do this? What are you thinking?
I don't know. I think challenges, for me, it's challenging to do this because I tend to be talkative and I can be quite long-winded sometimes. So this is actually something I really need because I need to convey exactly, get to the point, right? So people can feel it's okay to engage.
Okay.
and more wisdom coming from you.
Why do you think we need a good pitch, Marcus?
I think there's a couple of reasons you need a good pitch. One, as a salesperson, it's your job to go out and find, at least here, it's your job to go out and find qualified candidates to be clients of ours, and that client base will not form with a bad pitch. So even though we're not trying to sell specific units like a lot of dealerships do, we're trying to sell our service. And without a good pitch, you won't be able to sell the service, which means you won't get a good client base.
Okay, good. What about you, Dennis?
To me, one of the things that pitch does, it helps us connect with the people. If we can't connect with them on something that's important to them or something they like or where they are emotionally, mentally at that moment, then whatever you say isn't going to work. So a good pitch is a way to connect with them. And how are we connecting with those people and bringing them into our turf?
A good, on the book, it says the age-old question is, what do you do, right? People are like, what do you do?
Right.
And that question can lead to a deep conversation, or it can lead to polite disengagement and chit chat. So if you're out there giving your pitch and it's not leading to deep conversation, then we're missing the ball. Mm-hmm. That's at least what I'm taking away from the book. Mm-hmm. So here's a good example. So someone can say, I'm a consultant. I help businesses grow. Or they could say, I help companies grow I help companies grow by buying their competitors' businesses. I built my own company through acquisitions and sold it for a large sum. A lot of the deals I do involve almost no cash, and my clients often double their revenue in a single deal. See what I mean? Like instead of I'm a consultant, I help businesses grow, versus the second way that the pitch was delivered. To me, I want to know more. Did that make you want to know more? Mm-hmm. That's what it felt like to me too. So, we're used car. I'm a used car salesman. I'm a used car salesman. We can get any car. Okay, that's one way to pitch it. Marcus has a pitch. Like when you're out in public, how do you deliver your pitch?
Yeah, so my pitch is typically when somebody asks me what I do, it's like, oh, I'm an auto broker with Auto Search USA. We are a licensed and insured dealership, but we don't operate like your traditional dealership, meaning I don't hold inventory, so I'm not trying to sell my clients anything. You come in for 45 minutes. We go through your needs and what your goals are and what I think might fit best for your needs and your budget. And then we can do new or used vehicles to fit those needs.
Okay. What do you guys think?
That's good.
Checked a bunch of
Pretty good.
boxes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of want Dennis to give his pitch before Clayton's. What do you guys think?
We've worked with Clayton for the last 2 weeks. We haven't seen Dennis's pitch yet.
Would you guys like to hear Dennis's pitch? Because
Yes.
right now we don't know what he's saying in the public marketplace.
No clue.
No clue. But you got to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
That's true.
Mine was terrible in the beginning.
Clayton bucked up though and got it done. You ready to give your pitch? If Marcus says to you right now,
Always
what do
do.
you do?
I always answer people with very similar to his.
No, let's live.
Okay.
So ask him, Marcus.
What do you do, Dennis?
I'm an auto broker with Auto Search USA. It's a place where we help people's needs in transportation without all the harassment of going to a typical dealership. We sit down, save them lots of time, and we help meet their needs in a way that they're actually happy about.
I like that. He did make
I
the
like-
client the hero in the story, right?
Yeah,
That's pretty
I like that
good,
a lot.
Dennis.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
I mean, for the first time for us hearing it, I think that was pretty excellent.
Yeah.
for the
Dennis might
first
have
over.
car sales in his blood.
Yeah.
I never tell people.
He's
I sell
got Ronnie's
cars.
DNA flowing in there somewhere.
What I liked about it was he didn't talk
So,
about just
well,
himself.
Yeah.
You know, like I think so. For some of you guys out there that end up watching this, yeah, I'm guilty of it too. Like, Ronnie, what do you do? Oh, for 30 years I've been selling cars. I'm an auto broker. You're like, we think that the 30 years makes us credible, but we're only talking about ourselves. So he just made the customer the hero in the story. We're gonna save you time and hassle, and you're not gonna have to go to a dealership. It's like, okay, cool. Tell me more. How's that work? You know. So I would give Dennis about a 6 on that one for just coming in and batting it out of the park.
6 out of 7.
6 out of.
Oh, sorry.
I give him a 6
Gotta
out of
ask.
10. So Clayton Knight.
Okay.
Who wants to ask him what he does?
Dennis should.
Clayton, how you doing?
Hey,
So
I'm
what
great.
do you do?
Well, I am not. Excuse me. So I'm reading mine because I haven't memorized it yet, and my phone keeps malfunctioning. Sorry. So I'm a licensed auto broker. I work with Ronnie Haskins at Auto Search USA. We offer an alternative to spending long hours at the dealership and having to choose only the inventory that they have on the lot. We save people time and we solve transportation challenges.
Well, what do you think, Dennis?
I would not have mentioned your name in that. Nothing personal whatsoever, but it has nothing to do with you, the ownership or anything. It has everything to do with them. And like you were complimenting bringing the customer into it. I think the more we do that, where we highlight them, that we're solving their problem. So I would leave Ronnie personally.
Yeah. I think it depends on who you're talking to in that case too, because a lot of the times, like when we're within BNI, Ronnie has a very prevalent name within BNI in Colorado Springs. So most of the time, I would leave his name out from from your pitch, and then they'll be like, auto search, that's Ronnie, and you're like, yeah, I work with Ronnie.
Right.
That's what happened to me
I've
for
had
the
a lot of
first
people do
8
that.
months that I worked here.
Oh, you work with Ronnie?
yeah,
No, he works
exactly.
with me.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So
That's
I
fine.
I mean, you
I don't
can
ever put him down, but I make sure that I'm the person that they're connecting
Absolutely.
with, that I can help them,
absolutely.
not him. I don't point to him. Ever.
Here's another example. Option A. I have a training company. Like if you ask me what I do, I have a training company that deals with HR issues. The improved version is I have a training company that teaches managers how to fire someone properly. We are experts in how to have difficult conversations and to how to fire people so that they feel okay about it. We save our clients a fortune in legal claims, and we unleash high performance within their teams. That's powerful.
But I don't like it.
It's not for our company. It's
I
for like if
understand
you're
that. No, it's not for us. I don't like it because it's so negative. It's focusing on firing people. that's just one of the things that they help people do. And I think they should bring the more positive into it first. In addition, would help maybe if you have to fire somebody to avoid legal issues.
This is an issue we get into a lot, guys. So we're trying to learn, but lots of times we can't fill a cup that's already full. People don't want to post on Facebook. They don't want to go live. They don't want to do this because their opinions. I think.
Mhm.
Nobody cares what you think. It's like, what's going to be effective in the marketplace? And actually, one of the responses, like right there, if you meet me and you have that type of a response, that's a good one. Negative responses are totally fine. People are like, that's never going to work. And let me tell you why. You should be talking about this, this, and this. Now they're engaging with you.
Yes.
You're totally engaging with me because you don't like my pitch. That's actually what
You're
it
having a
says.
dialogue.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
That's the
great.
point,
Well, here's another one. I make furniture and other goods. That's number 8. I make furniture and other goods. So it says here, I create rare, exclusive, one-of-a-kind boardroom tables and desks. Our tables and desks often go up in value and are collected by billionaires and celebrities. Recently, we were appointed to supply our work to one of the world's most exclusive brands. I don't think we're going to get a discount on a table, guys.
Not at this show, no.
Yeah,
But
like
it's
what
good.
types
That
of
was
thoughts
good.
are you going through in your mind? Lots of times, guys, we try to create and craft a pitch that includes everybody. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
Raise your hand. Like,
Yeah.
Correct.
we want this pitch that I sell to everybody and anybody with a pulse. You drive a car, I can talk to you. All of these things, right? Knowing that's not who I sell to. We don't
Right.
work with everybody, and you have to learn to be okay with that. That's just the way it is. Let's see if there's another good example. I have a this is one you guys hear often. I have a financial service business that provides advice. So you could just say that, right? Or you could say, I run a financial services firm. We have 50 highly qualified people on our team who do nothing but crunch data on investments and risk. We then sell advice to some of the world's biggest investment funds. Our mission is to solve the requirement crisis facing baby boomers. They niched it down to my mom and dad. Like, so I'm listening to that pitch. I'm like, oh, yeah, my parents' planner could probably use that advice, because it's a key niche that they're talking about. So that's what, if you choose to follow this book and you want to craft your pitch and become better and become what's called a key person of influence, we got to let go of these things that we think. And we got to be okay to have negative responses when we're talking to people, because that's just engagement, guys. So good job working on it. What would you guys grade? If I gave him a 6, what would you grade Clayton's today? Marcus.
4.3.
4.3. Yeah.
I'm more interested in what Ronnie thinks about my pitch.
I was thinking like 4.4. I mean,
Really? Oh, come on, Ronnie.
so for the guys that follow me that want to be auto brokers, it's amazing. I had a few guys on the channel last week, and we asked them. They had the same thing, that their pitches were non-existent.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you going to convey to people what you do in an efficient way that evokes a response, an emotional response? That they're like, I want to know more, or I want to get to know you, or I want to connect you with these people that do this, and you might want to talk to them. Like, that's how you build a business. So this craft requires practice at home with your friends. You two are newbies. You could be bouncing things off each other. And we're all learning.
Yeah, absolutely. I think yesterday in our meeting, you had you said something that invoked a bit more emotional response, and then in the pitch today, that line was gone.
No,
So
it wasn't.
What was it?
to be honest, I forget the exact wording, but it was more along the lines of, I really like helping people save times and solving their vehicle issues.
Yeah, I
needs.
said
So.
I said transportation problems. I just changed the word problem into challenges for today.
And that changed your mind about it, huh?
I mean, I like that. I think he said that one thing in the meeting yesterday, not the whole pitch. So that line is good, but yeah, the rest of it still needs some work.
Okay. So what else would you guys like to talk about in the marketplace? I mean, we could make this podcast all day long if we want. We got 0 people watching right now, but eventually it'll build.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else? Do you guys have questions for me today? Because I think we should use this for Q&A, and we'll put it out to the universe so people can hear my answers. But go for it.
Yeah, I want to know what I need to put in here. What's missing?
Have you read the book?
No,
Do you have the book?
I don't. It's on my
Crafting a social
list of
pitch.
things to do, and I forgot to write it down.
Okay, guys. So if we're gonna get better, we've got to put knowledge in. Putting good stuff in makes good stuff come out.
Mhm.
Remember, guys, what got us to where we are today will not get us to the next level. Well, only improvement does that. How many of you guys were Michael Jordan fans? Did you ever see him stop practicing?
No.
I mean, I remember watching him late in his career, and it's like coming out with new moves, and it's like, this is crazy. The guy's improving all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I was primarily a Jordan fan because of my dad. Because by the time I was born, he was towards the tail end of his career. But
He's still good.
yeah, he was still good. And after watching the Nuggets beat the Lakers last night and send them home, I still think Michael Jordan is 10 times better than LeBron.
I'm not a big LeBron
Easily.
fan.
No.
However, look at how good he played last night. Like without him in that game last night,
It would have been a lot.
they would have got
further.
blown out by
Yeah.
30 points.
Yeah.
Easy. Like he was dominant in that game.
Absolutely.
Whether we talk about him crying at every call or that doesn't matter. But the guy dominated.
Yeah.
I don't know how many
Absolutely.
points he got last
He
night.
had
but
30 points.
He pretty much dragged that team to the finish line and they still lost.
Yeah.
I was sitting there like, he needs help. But I mean, he's constantly improving. At 39 years old, he's been in the league 20 years,
Yep.
and he's still trying to get better. Knowing everybody hates him.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
something that the hate can make you better too. So
It's fuel.
never, yeah, absolutely. Never let haters get in your way of continuing, because honestly, most of the time they have the best advice for you. What they don't like, you can be like, okay,
That's why those negative responses are fine.
exactly.
This is never
Exactly.
going to work. Well, tell me why. What do you
Yeah.
like? That's the time to stay curious. So that's a great point. Like a lot of times, people tell us our ideas suck, and we get defensive.
Mhm.
We immediately want to defend our position when it's actually the time to listen. Tell me why. Why won't it work? Why do you think it won't work? Oh, well, because they're already like you see how excited he got to. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be talking to these people and these people. Okay, let me write that down. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. And see, that's why you want those responses, because they'll give you the answers you seek. Instead of trying to be right all the time, we need to be effective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period. We are, even if you know you're right, it matters not if you're not effectively articulating your message to people. So that was a great point.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I think I've always learned more in failure than in success ever. Because
Teaches you what not to do.
exactly. Well, that, and I mean, you just when you learn what not to do, you explore more ways.
To do.
Exactly.
How do we get this done?
You were talking about practice. I have a great story. I had a chance to listen to one of the coaches from the LA Clippers one time, and he knew Kobe Bryant very well, being in the same arena. And he was watching Kobe practice one time, and like Michael Jordan, he was just an animal at practice. He just always. And he asked him, "So how long do you practice?" And Kobe said, "Until."
Yeah.
That was his only answer. His only word. And the guy asked him to elaborate, and he said, "No, I practice until." Well, what is that? Until. He always practiced. Always was trying to get better.
He had some cool stories about him being lathered up before the game, sweating, practicing before the game.
Yep.
And going down and dropping 81.
81 points.
Larry
That's
Bird was the
crazy.
same way. Larry Bird would take 10,000 shots before the game. Wow. And just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. The guys retrieving the balls were going nuts, But
You get tired of
that's who you want to shoot during the game, is the guy who's done it 10,000 times.
Or as Wayne Gretzky says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right.
Yep.
If you want to get better at your craft, you have got to find a way to improve. We are focused on, I'm not getting paid for this. We're focused on this book because we find it to be interesting. And we are trying to practice what we preach. Like, hey, we feel like our pitch needs to evolve with the times.
Right.
Digital age, you know, maybe we've spent years resting on our accolades while we've done pretty well and we've been doing this for 30 years. Nobody cares. It's just focus on how the client is the hero in the story that we're trying to tell and convey. And I think that none of us are getting a 9 right now on the score, including myself. I'm not ready to give my pitch yet, maybe next week. But since I started reading this book, I realized that my pitch needs to change. And these guys all say my pitch is perfect. It's like, okay, I don't feel that way. I feel like I've been missing the boat because I haven't been putting new information in. Yeah, I mean, I would typically say something like, an auto broker, we give people an alternative way to buy cars that alleviates time and stress and hassle from their life, providing any type of vehicle on the market. Very short to the point. But I want to find a way to make the client more of a hero, like a transformational statement. So if I give you a statement on what I'm going to do for you, you can see yourself and your life transforming in that statement. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Like by the time I'm done talking, like I can see myself going through this and through that process. But the trick is to not say it in 30 minutes. Like we're going to say it in like 30 seconds or less.
Yep.
10 seconds, So, yeah, I'm all right. So who's going to draw me on the book? Anybody?
Yeah, I'm going to order it. I wrote it down, so I won't forget.
If any of you are going to grab this book, drop it in the comments and let me know what you're learning from it. I mean, this is open for learning for everybody, including myself. I think we all need to get better for 24. 23 was a great year. We're already way ahead of where we're going to be in last year. Like the numbers we're ahead of 23. But I know we're going to run up to a wall of resistance soon. And the only way we're going to push through that wall is putting more information in that's going to make us better.
You can never stop learning.
I don't think so, unless you die.
Yeah. You die.
That's fair.
There's a phrase, and I use it a lot, and people will ask me about things. I tell them I'm a lifelong learner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always learning. I'm always trying to grow. People ask me, do you know everything? Not yet.
Mm-hmm. Not yet.
I'm working on it.
Probably won't ever learn everything.
Always
Einstein
growing,
never
always
learned
learning,
everything.
becoming better at whatever I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I've been that way my whole life.
Yeah.
Any parting shots? Anybody want to add any other value to the podcast?
I don't think I have really anything else. I liked how we tied the sports into it because that's something that really resonates with me. But yeah, I mean, even this past weekend when I was racing, I had to do 140 some odd laps in order to set what I thought was a decent lap time. And, you have to just go through the process, continue learning, continue picking things up, and nothing will ever be perfect. I know I could have been faster, but you'll get closer and closer. But I don't think, I think we talk about this quite a bit. Practice doesn't make perfect. It makes improvement.
Makes improvement. What is Les? What is it? Les Brown. He says practice makes.
Some people would say permanent. I'm not sure I 100% agree with that. But whatever you practice, you get better at. But what if you're practicing wrong?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's deep.
If you're practicing the thing wrong,
That's
you will
why
get
I
better
don't
at
have
being
this
wrong.
memorized yet.
Yeah, that's actually a whole nother podcast, practicing the wrong thing and not getting better, but definitely getting better at that wrong thing. Mm-hmm. Oof, that's a deep one. That's why you have to have the right people in the room.
Exactly.
People are willing to tell you, hey, man, that's a 4.4. Polite responses aren't going to get us there. Dennis, you had a good one making the hero out of the customer in that pitch. I liked it today. I think your pitch was better than mine, Marcus's, and his. I think we all need to work on it. One other thing, analogies. I'm always doing sports analogies. I challenge you to come up with some analogies that are not sports analogies.
Yeah, I know.
Like we sit in a room and then we bring Bonnie and Christy in and they're like, what? I'm like, oh man. And then we're like, I don't have another analogy. So analogies, guys, when you're given analogies, can you come up with analogies that are not sports related? That's a good one. It's a tough one.
For us, it's going to be challenging.
I love having sports people in the room.
Yeah.
People that do sports, it's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be easy.
Yeah. Look up some Jeff Gordon quotes. See what.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Ari Andretti. Hey, what did he say about it?
I have a lot of motorsport quotes that I love.
Oh,
Still sports.
Well, guys, follow us for more. We're going to come live every week training. Don't know what the topic's going to be next week. We might take a rest on the pitch. I do have a 12-week program that I'm putting these guys through for training, so we might go back to that and train on some specific things from our training schedule. So if you want to join us, please do. And we are open for responses or anything you want to add that is valuable. We would love to hear it. So hope you guys have a great day. Until next week, 10:30 every Tuesday. Have a good day.